Guys, numbers do not lie. The United States is dominating the Australian Open on both the men's and the women's side. And I'm going to go through stats that you cannot argue with. So I know that American tennis has been beat up over the last couple of decades, mostly by Americans, right? American fans, American commentators, American coaches. What's wrong with American tennis? What's wrong with our American tennis system? We can't win anymore. We stink, right? So this is great news for us. And if you're somebody out there who still thinks American tennis has a problem, comment below and let me know why. And I'm going to, at the end, tell you probably the one thing you're thinking of why you think we have a problem. I'm going to say, listen, it's not a problem. All right, so let's go through this for both the men and the women. Now, the women, for several years now, have been holding more than their end of the bargain. They've been winning Grand Slam titles. Coco Gauff is the highest paid female athlete in the entire world across any sport. So they've been winning and doing their share. But here's a surprising thing. The men, the United States men, actually have the most representatives in the main draw from any country, and more than the females this year. They have 21 men who have made it into the main draw of the Australian Open this year, and that is the most out of any country. So we are producing the most top 100 players in the world right now, and that is huge because it is no small feat to get inside the top 100. That also shows that systematically we must be doing something to produce professional tennis players. So coaches out there, you are doing a good job. 16 women are in the main draw of the Australian Open, which again is the most. So we have 37 total players in the Australian Open with men and women. So that's awesome. The next thing I want you to think about is that when it comes to going deep into the tournament, all right, so we have the most, but how are we doing? How much are we winning? Well, the men and the women both had the most representatives in the round of 16. That's going pretty deep. The top 16 players in the world, we had the most men and women in there. And then when it comes to going even deeper, the time I'm making this video is the quarterfinals. We have two players. We have Ben Shelton and Lerner Teen, and that is tied with Italy, who has Yannick Sinner and Musetti. I love Musetti. Oh my God, that guy. I love watching him play tennis. But anyway, Lerner Teen as well, I believe, is the youngest quarterfinalist that we've had maybe ever, or maybe it ties Andy Roddick or something like that. I forget when the last time we had somebody this young getting to the quarterfinals of the Australian Open. So you can fact check me below if you know the answer. So that's great. So we have the most, and the women, I mean, they're just absolutely killing this. So they also had the most players going deep into the round of 16. And then the quarterfinals is incredible. Let's see how many, let me see if I can find it. I know off the top of my head, we have Anna Masova, Coco Gauff. We had the most in the round of 16, and Jokic, if that's how you pronounce her name, and she's got another star. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she wins the entire tournament. So, guys, American tennis is in great hands. Now, I know probably the big but that you have on your mind. It's like, yeah, but we haven't won a Grand Slam tournament since Andy Roddick, and that is true. But I think also the more that the numbers, the power's in the numbers, and a numbers game proves how good the system is doing. All right, if we're systematically getting the most players in the top 100, you know, that's really all you can ask from a coaching system. Let me tell you where I'm going with that. Like, you just can't force in the United States a Roger Federer or a Rafa Nadal, Novak Djokovic, Serena Williams, although she was born in the United States, right? These legends, and now we have Sinner and Alcaraz. Like, these are just, you know, once in a generation players that you just can't force and produce, right? They're just born special. They're amazing. So you can't really systematically produce a Carlos Alcaraz, right? You can only do your job and say, well, let's create a system that if we have really talented, hungry players, that we can get them on the pro tour, making a living and doing pretty good. Taylor Fritz went pretty far too. I forgot to mention him, but he lost in round 16 to Musetti. So that is my argument on why we have on our Grand Slam. It's a big world out there. I mean, if you ever travel, I've traveled recently, and one thing that dawned me, like, this is a huge world. Like, there's a lot of countries, there's a lot of competition, and only one person gets to win a Grand Slam tournament. But if we keep producing this type of talent, the men will eventually start breaking through. Like, I think Ben Shelton, I didn't think this a while ago, but the more I'm watching him play, one of my friends always says, what do you think about Ben Shelton? Like, I don't see him winning a Grand Slam, but he's getting better and better. Taylor Fritz could still break through if everything broke right for him. But of course, it's going to be hard to take out Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz. These are our next Federer, Nadal, Djokovic's. So, maybe we will, maybe we won't. But certainly the system of American tennis is doing their job. And then the females, we have no problem at all. I mean, just look at what we've been doing. Anna Masova, she got to, I think, 2 finals last year. Coco Gauff won a Grand Slam. Jessica Pegula is always knocking on the door. So we have players winning Grand Slam titles on the American side, on the females. So we haven't been in a 20-plus year drought without any Grand Slam titles. It's just lots of times people put that weight on the men's game, like, well, American tennis is in the garbage can because the men aren't winning Grand Slam titles. But they are knocking on the door. I'm super proud of American tennis. We're obviously doing something right. What do you guys think? Do you think that it's time to drop the label of American tennis stinks compared to the rest of the world and there's a big problem? Are you ready to do that with me? Because I am ready. I'm officially saying there's no more problem. If we keep producing these talented athletes, we will have a Grand Slam champion on the men's side. It's only a matter of time. And the women just got to keep doing what they're doing. They're doing amazing. Let me know what you guys think. And if you want to watch a video right now and improve your tennis game, the serve is the hardest thing to do. So I've got a tennis improvement video right here on the serve that's going to give you more slice action on the ball. So if you want to have what I consider the only serve that matters in tennis, if you want to master that, that's a slice serve. Click and watch that video, and we'll see you guys on the next video.